This week, all eyes turn to Qingdao, China, where Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is set to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Defence Ministers meeting from June 25th to 27th. This visit is making headlines, not just for the agenda on the table, but for what it signals in its ever-shifting landscape of Asian geopolitics. Let me take you through this. In his first visit to China since the deadly 2020 Galwan Valley clash, an incident that froze high-level engagement and led to a protracted military standoff along the line of actual control. In fact, since those clashes, Indian leadership largely avoids traveling to China, with diplomatic exchanges limited to virtual formats or third country venues. The symbolism of this visit, therefore, cannot be overstated. On the sidelines, Singh will also hold bilateral talk with Chinese Defense Minister Admiral Dong Jun and Russian Defense Minister Andriy Belosov. Notably absent from his schedule is any meeting with the Pakistani Defense Minister Khwaja Asif, who will also be present in Qingdao. Given the recent Operation Sindoor, India's robust military response to cross-border provocations last month, relations between New Delhi and Islamabad remain deeply strained, with direct dialogue off the table for now. China has not outright backed Pakistan, but its loyalties have remained largely with Pakistan, which makes this meet an even more intricate diplomatic web. But what's driving this renewed engagement with China? In October last year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping agreed to resume patrolling and withdraw troops from friction points along the LAC, signaling a tentative thaw. Since then, both sides have taken cautious steps, restoring trade, reopening travel, and even reviving the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Yet, the reality on the ground is more complex. While some troops have been redeployed, full disengagement in Galwan and other hotspots like Depsang and Demchok remain elusive. The border is quieter but far from settled. Meanwhile, another alliance has been emerging from the shadows under this meet. Russia has been actively promoting closer coordination among major Eurasian powers, particularly through forums like the Russia-India-China or RIC grouping, as part of its broader strategy to reshape the regional and global order. Moscow's push is partly a response to its confrontation with the West and aims to deepen ties with China and India by leveraging the SCO's platform for joint project investments, cooperation, and regional security initiatives. However, while China and Russia have drawn closer, India remains cautious due to its complex relationship with China, and the effectiveness of such trilateral efforts depend on managing these underlying tensions. This visit reflects India's delicate balancing act. On one hand, New Delhi is keen to avoid being boxed in by China's assertiveness, especially as Beijing deepens ties with Pakistan and projects power across the region. On the other hand, India values its role in multilateral forums like SCO, where it can engage with Russia and Central Asian states on security, counterterrorism, and even connectivity. The absence of a bilateral with Pakistan's defense minister is telling. The relationship is at its lowest ebb in years. Cross-border attacks, ceasefire violations, and the fallout from Operation Sindoor have hardened positions on both sides. For now, the diplomatic freeze shows no sign of thawing, and the SCO meeting will do little to bridge the gulf. In sum, Rajnath Singh's visit to China is more than a diplomatic formality. It is a signal to Beijing, Moscow, and the wider region that India remains engaged, vigilant, and unwilling to cede ground, either literally or figuratively, in its pursuit of national security and regional stability. For the Asian Chronicle, I am Gunjan Handa.